Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slain Hope, and I got another video for y'all. Today's video is a book review. I finally finished Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The book is 290 pages long. It has 16 chapters. And what the book is basically about is literally the title, Think and Grow Rich. So what made me read the book was, it was a recommendation from one of the brothers out in Minneapolis, and he had like a little course, not little, but he had a course about like marketing and stuff like that, and just kind of like he read a lot of self-help books. So the book is basically a self-help book, and it's literally about changing the way that you think about riches, right? It's literally changing your mindset from a poverty mindset to a mindset of abundance and a mindset of richness, right? So I read the book because it was a recommendation. The book is basically about, like I was saying, it's about like just changing the way you think, like, and it just basically emphasized that like you can't really change anything with your limbs unless you change your mind. And I say that a lot of times when it comes to other things. And the same thing goes for riches. So the book gives you a lot of principles. It gives you a lot of, kind of like guidelines to kind of like follow to kind of like achieve richness, right? But the first thing that you must do is you got to change the way that you think. You have to change from a poverty mindset to a mindset of abundance, to a mindset that you can do. So that's what the book is about. It's just basically about changing your mindset and going from a poverty-stricken mindset to a mindset of abundance and achieving and gaining richness. What I got from the book is, I got so much things from the book. I definitely highlighted a lot of stuff. I definitely kept little, folded pages on certain parts. But one of the main things that I got from this book was, it talked about the mystery of sex, right? So that's one of the chapters in this book. It talks about the mystery of sex. And what it really was talking about, the mystery of sex transmutation. That's what it says. So and it was very interesting because this is one of the things that stayed with me. And it was like, when you have a lot of sexual energy, right? The author was basically saying that like, that's still energy. He said the sexual desire, the desire to have sex, is the biggest stimuli, right? Which is really like our energy core, right? It's really energy, right? And he was basically saying that you can use that energy and transmute it to do other things. He also highlight how a lot of people who acquire wealth, were people that kind of like, they might have they were very disciplined when it came to sex, or they motivation and their drive was trying to gain some women, right? Or trying to appeal to some women. So they was just saying that like, when you could take all that energy from that sex, from trying to have sex, y'all know how intense it is. So the way they was breaking it down is that like, the feeling of wanting to have sex or chasing sex, or like the energy that you feel, is very strong. And they were saying that like, a lot of times people don't succeed because they're chasing the wrong things in life. And they were saying sex is one of those things, right? We're too focused on sex, and you see it a lot, right? A lot of people who do not properly plan or invest in their purpose, they are going to invest in their pleasure. It happens all the time. That's why I say, a man who is disciplined and he stays working diligent on his purpose, is not going to fall victim to just meaningless pleasure. So those are one of the things that stood with me. It was a whole bunch of other things, about faith, about desire, about the subconscious mind, and it was just basically talking about like, when you get negative thoughts, if you don't remove those negative thoughts and replace them with positive thoughts, then those negative thoughts stay in your mind. They stay in the subconscious mind, and they start to wreak havoc on you. They start to wreak havoc on your worry, your doubt, all of these different things, right? So the book is so that's the things that I got from the book. That's the things that I learned from the book. It was basically, again, like the mindset, how to use our time, how to use our energy, how to create plans of action and actually follow through, But before all of those things, you just gotta have your mindset gotta be right. You know, you gotta have a plan. You gotta write it down. You gotta be strategic about it, and you gotta have faith that you're gonna achieve it. So the book was very interesting. You probably read other books that kind of like have a similar concept about the mind, right? But I think this book was very good. It laid out some plans. So sometimes you got to take your time with these type of books. You got to highlight a lot of things. I take notes personally. I don't necessarily always write stuff down, but I highlight certain things. And how I plan to implement the book is after reading this book, I went and purchased a vision board, and I posted the vision board on my wall, and I wrote down like what is my goals, like what is my target goal, what I'm gonna do for that money, right? So this is how I'm applying the book. You gotta write a goal, right? You gotta write what you are willing to do for that money, you know, that you want, right? Because nothing, you don't get something for nothing, and people need to get that out their mind, right? They spoke about that too. People want to just gamble and get easy money without putting the work in for it. So they was like, yo, get this thought out your mind that you're gonna get something for nothing. So you create a plan, right? You express what you're gonna do for this money. Then you express, you know, you also express like how long do you want it to take you to get this money. What's another thing? And then you got to create a plan on how you're going to achieve this money. And then you got to repeat these things to yourself day and morning. So it's important to, so this is how I'm applying it. And I got a vision board so I can see it every day, so I could read it every day, so I could kind of like check off the list the things that I'm kind of like trying to do and implement. And also, you know, it's important to keep going through the book to kind of like go back, because the book also shows you things about how you make excuses for yourself. So I thought that was another important part of the book. It has a whole list of excuses that people tell themselves, and I'm gonna read some of them to y'all. It's not a lot. I mean, it is a lot, but some of the things that people say to them, it says, if only I didn't have a wife and a family. If only I had enough pull. If only I had enough money. If only I had a good education. If only I could get a job. If only I had good health. If only I had time. If only times were better. If only other people understood me. If only conditions around me were different. If only I could live my life over again. If only I had the talent some people have. If only I dare assert myself. If only I had embraced past opportunities. So it's so many different things, right? If only I hadn't lost money. So it just gives you a whole long list of things to really think about. There's a whole bunch of alibis, a whole bunch of excuses that people make for themselves. So I think that like the book is very good because sometimes you got to be realistic with yourself, and you got to highlight where are you when it comes to making excuses for your own failures. And the last thing I will leave you out with is the first and best victory is to conquer yourself. So with that being said, that's the book review right there. I encourage y'all to go get it. I encourage y'all to go read it. And if y'all do, I encourage y'all to take notes. And I encourage y'all to, you know, start taking control of your mind today and stop thinking from a perspective of poverty, like you're meant to be poor, and start thinking about from a perspective of abundance and that you can gain and attain richness. So let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all thoughts are. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Y'all be safe. Peace.